Throughout human history, the survival of a particular society has depended on the establishment of institutions and structures to achieve a goal or solve a problem. Forces on the society from inside or out pressure change. And if your goal is to prevent that, you would implement controls. Do this, or you may not do that. Sometimes controls were placed on the people for justifiable reasons, and sometimes not. So, we understand that structural origins have often been to keep people's complaints or outcries from affecting any real change. Because generally change is disadvantageous to the people in charge, to the people who have inherited power. Because power won't surrender itself willingly, it becomes entrenched. And like a puzzle, other bits and functions of society start to rely on it. It becomes a regrettable part of our tradition. Now, these structures and controls often outlive their usefulness, if they were ever even useful to begin with. So, we've entered modern times with a lot of baggage. So, what is anarchy? How do you explain the theory of anarchy? Anarchy puts hierarchies and power structures in a position where they must justify their continued existence to the people whose lives they affect, to whoever they might have some influence over. If the structure is unable to justify its continued existence, then it is not allowed to continue existing as an authority structure. In this way, even in the absence of a nation-state, vital structures are allowed to continue if the society democratically agrees with it, whereas non-essential ones are dismantled. Far from the negative association that anarchy unjustly receives, this isn't chaos, this is tidying up. Anarchy is a lobster realizing he's outgrown his shell, except in that case, the molted shell doesn't fight to keep constraining the lobster. Anarchists believe in organized society. In this case, organized from below, democratically. The idea of eliminating hierarchy wherever possible is frightening to people with power, because they could lose their illegitimate influence. If you are frightened about losing power, consider how essential your position to society is, and you may find it's not essential at all. Anarchy democratizes. It makes people equal. It's direct democracy, where everyone has a say in the kind of society that we live in. If you like the idea of directly electing your police, or choosing your workplace's direction in a vote with your fellow employees, where everyone has not just equality, but an equal amount of power, those are the ideals of direct democracy and anarchy. Society without a top-down state or private concentrations of tyranny. And if you consider the results of democracy to be downsides, you may want to examine the society you grew up in and question the priorities you once thought important.